Hello and welcome to Deadline Horror News Live for January 19th, 2022. I'm Josh and I'm joined here with Donnie
Hey.
and the Professor Smoke.
What's up?
And we are from the All-American Spookshow Horror Podcast. And of course, we want to remind you to like and subscribe to the channel down below and click on the bell to be notified so you don't miss a thing when we go live or when we upload new videos. Also, we want you to become a supporter of the Spook Show by going over to patreon.com/AA-Spookshow. There we have levels starting at $1, $3, all the way up to this crazy $1,000 Spook Show Insanity level, which you need to go check out to see all that comes with there. But basically, we have video minisodes featuring the Library of the Professor every Tuesday, bonus podcast every month, like Spook Show Rewind. That's one that we just started this month. That's going to carry over and basically be kind of a monthly recurring thing over on Patreon. Professor's retro review articles. Those are like older reviews that were actually written reviews. So Donnie, I know you like to read stuff, so that's that's available for you to read over there. That's going to be an occasional thing that pops up over there. And of course, we got the monthly polls and tons more. We got some new stuff coming, and now we're about to introduce 2 new segments that are coming to the Spook Show and to Patreon and just the whole Spook Show universe of things. So, Donnie, if you can load up the first thing that's coming.
Yeah, man.
There you see it on the screen. Crapster Piece Theater. Now, this is going to be an exclusive to Patreon, probably monthly podcast series, where basically the whole premise of this is it's the worst of the worst. We're gonna get, like, every month we're gonna put out a poll over on Patreon of 3 or 4 of like the worst movies we can think of. We'll all kind of throw out our own nominees, and then you, as if you join us on Patreon, you'll be able to vote for which one that we watch the following month. So, any ideas of what this might entail, Smoke? Like what kind of movie?
Oh well, I could probably turn around and pull something off the shelf that would give you an idea, but
everything.
I'm not seeing anything. I was gonna say I'm not seeing anything sufficiently crapster piece worthy at the moment, but
you get the idea. Like, and not just horror, and not just horror movies either. Like, this could be opened up to any piece of shit. I'll give you, for instance, one that we just talked about last week, just because I watched it last week. The Apple, one of the first canon movies. Like, good Lord Almighty, that's going to be, if that's not on the first poll, it'll be on one of the early polls whenever we start doing this. But you get the point. Like, just the worst movies you can think of, and that will be a Patreon exclusive. So if you want to hear us have a good time watching the shittiest movies that we can think of, that is going to be the place to go. So we want you to sign up and become a patron so you can check that out. But go ahead and toss to the next thing that's coming, the next series that's coming to the Spook Show, Donnie.
All right. Sorry. Got some things in the way here.
The Cult Corner. Now, this idea, this series, now this will be on the regular podcast feed. We'll kind of intersperse it with, our every 2-week horror reviews that we always have done, and we'll always continue to do, because that's our main attraction, so to speak, is us doing the horror reviews. But we're going to slide in some cult movies. Now, our only caveat here with the cult movies is they can't be horror related. So basically any cult movie that you can think of, non-horror related, which naturally leads us to the poll. If you want to go ahead and throw the whichever first poll you got up there. So this is the first Cult Corner poll. Yep. It's available now. Now you can vote you can go over to patreon.com/AA-Spookshow. It's free to vote. You don't have to, even pay $1 level to vote for this. Or you can go over to Twitter. We've got the poll up there. We've also got we've posted up on Instagram, Facebook, and the Slasher app. You can comment below with your picks. Like, they don't necessarily allow you to do a poll on those platforms, but you basically just comment your selection up underneath there, and it'll count. And at the end of the month, you see there the poll ends January 31st. We'll tabulate which one wins, and that's what we're going to watch on episode 96, which is will be our first Cult Corner episode next month. So you see the 4 choices there: The Warriors from 1979, Bloodsport from 1988, Assault on Precinct 13, the original John Carpenter classic from 1976, and then Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas from 1998. So I think this is 4 solid cult movie choices here. So we're coming out swinging big with the selections. I can't even say there's a leader in the clubhouse right now because like even the votes that I'm seeing so far, this is all pretty evenly.
Yeah, it's pretty split.
Yeah, so far. So, like I said, you got multiple ways to vote. Make yourself heard. Make your voice heard. Let us know what you decide, and you got till the end of the month to do it. So we'll tabulate up then, and then we'll announce the winner at the beginning of February. And of course, we've got the other poll going on over on Patreon. This will be for the episode right before that one, episode 95.
Mm-hmm.
And that episode is our Valentine's Day episode, which because Monday just happens to fall on February 14th this year. So you see 3 newer Valentine's horror movies there: Valentine from 2001, Pontypool from 2008, and My Bloody Valentine from 2009, the remake. Those are the 3 choices. Now you do have to join over on Patreon to select those. Now this will probably be the last time we put up the regular horror polls on Patreon. I think from here on in they'll be, the same way that you see, that last poll for the Cult Corner. They'll be like that. Because probably starting next month we're going to be putting a poll up for what we're going to watch on Crapster Piece Theater. So you can help us decide which piece of shit we watch first, which nugget that we watch first on Crapster Piece Theaters. Yeah, you're kind of I hope you kind of understand what's going on here. We're trying to mix it up with some new stuff, trying to get some cult movies in, stuff that's not always horror related. Just trying to mix it up a little bit and have some fun and change up the format a little bit on those particular episodes. So you want to be a part of these things. Get in on the ground floor while the getting's good. So I want to remind you that episode 91 of the podcast just came out this past Monday, and it's out now. And it's our latest movie review, and it's Malignant from 2021. We finally got around to it. So if you want to hear what our thoughts are on that, go download or stream episode 91. That's the latest episode. And then next week, episode 92, we're going to be welcoming a special guest, Paul Talbot. He's a film historian and an author, and he also just happens to be an acquaintance of Smokes, one of his friends. But he wrote 2 great books. You see there on the screen, Bronson's Loose and Bronson's Loose Again. Basically, he wrote 2 films. He wrote 2 books about the career and life of Charles Bronson that you see there. And we're going to be talking to him about those. And, of course, we're also going to be talking to him about Canon Films. So kind of a cool little conversation that we had with him. That will be out very soon for patrons over on Patreon, probably in the next day or 2. It will be there. But if you if you don't want to be cool and listen to it early, you can just wait until next Monday, like the common folk do. It comes out Monday, January 24th at 6 p.m. East. Like I said, unless you're a patron at the $5 level, you will get it early. So that's the latest. So I guess I'll toss it over to you, Donnie, for the latest deadlines and horror news.
Yeah, so Scream had a huge opening weekend.
Huge.
Yeah, did you guys see it?
I didn't.
I did.
Yeah, I did. I guess we'll get to it at some point.
Smoke, did you say you saw it?
Yeah.
I did see it too, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess since both of y'all saw it, I mean, without spoilers or anything, since I haven't seen it, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this haven't seen it yet. Smoke, what'd you think?
Well, I don't know if we talked about this on the show before, but I'm probably the wrong person to ask if you're trying to get an accurate description or gauge of the Scream movies at all, because I'm one of those that have never really been a huge fan of any of the Scream movies, including the first. I mean, I like the first one well enough, but I never thought it was the great, as great as some people do. So I'm not the one to ask for that. My wife, actually, she's more of a fan of the Scream series than I am. If you were to ask her, she would tell you something totally different, probably. So I'm going to go with that. I think if you liked the first Scream movie, and maybe, some of the sequels as well, then you're probably going to enjoy this one.
Yeah,
that's the best I can give. That's the best I can say. So I'll go to Donnie and see what he thinks.
No, yeah, I would mirror that. Actually, that's Kenya and I were talking, and she actually rated it a lot higher than I did. But yeah, I would mirror Smoke's sentiments on that. But it did have a great opening weekend. Made, I think it was close to $35 million over the holiday weekend. 18 million internationally. Kind of a worldwide estimate of 53 million. So yeah, I mean that definitely a much bigger opening weekend than its predecessor, Scream 4.
I wouldn't say that's a blockbuster by any measure, but that's still pretty good for this time of year, no doubt.
Yeah.
It is January. I guess that's no mean feat for January.
Yeah. True. Now, that old January thing doesn't mean as much as it used to, but yeah, that's still pretty impressive for a January opening.
Yep. So other than that, unfortunately, some sad news. Gaspard Ulliel, help me out. Or no.
I was
just sit there, fucking laugh at me.
I'm just glad it was you had to say it, not me.
I was just staring at his name and waiting for you to spit that out.
God damn it. Yeah. So unfortunately, yeah, I know. Yeah, unfortunately, he passed. He's known for Hannibal Rising and Moon Knight, but he passed away. It was pretty suddenly. He was skiing in his native France. He suffered a head injury and unfortunately passed away. He was 37 years old.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, you hate to hear that about that happening to anyone, of course, but somebody so young, and I'm sure his star was soon to rise, eventually, because I don't remember if you just mentioned it or not, but he's going to be in that upcoming Moon Knight series on Disney Plus. So
I read on he appeared in 6 episodes of Moon Knight. So
yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, but actually, Smoke's probably one of Smoke's friends too. Dario Argento is coming back with Dark Glasses. It's actually going to be at the 72nd Berlin International Film Festival. It's running from February 10th to the 20th. But yeah, also if you want to check out the Spook Show archives, episode number 3 was our take on Suspiria from 1977.
The infamous episode.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I know that Will, if nobody else is anticipating this new Argento film, Will has.
He is ecstatic.
I'm sure we'll get to.
Yeah. Oh, like as soon as we can, for sure. Yeah. This is going to be screened at some film festival in Berlin.
Yeah,
Smoke, I wonder if it's that same theater from the movie Demons.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. We actually covered in episode number 51.
Then right in the last 10 minutes of the movie, a helicopter just falls to the seal
for no reason. It's like, why? Why did that happen? But yeah, that's all for the headlines. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Fan experiences, conventions, whatnot. Mm-hmm. I think we found 2, right? And both of them are not too far away from each other in Florida. You see that on the screen? We got VillaCon. Yeah. I was thinking it said VillainCon, but no, it says VillaCon.
Yeah.
Villains arise at last. You can see that on the screen there. But guests include Barry Bostwick, Denise Crosby, Garrett Wang.
I knew you'd have fun with that.
Yeah. You just had to put that on
there. With Wangs.
Had to put that on there. That's this Friday through Sunday, January 21st through the 23rd in Orlando, Florida. Tickets and information, whatnot, on lunatix.com. That's funny. LUNATTIX.com. Lunatix.com. And then the other convention right up the road, I don't think it's very far from Orlando, in Cocoa, Florida, Horrorville 2022. In Cocoa, that's actually Saturday and Sunday only, just the 22nd through the 23rd. Information at horrorvillecon.com. Guests include Felissa Rose, John Dugan, Mark Patton, and many more. So if you're in the that Orlando, somewhere in between Orlando and Cocoa, Florida. You've got You've got pretty much the only two conventions that we could find going on in the U.S. this weekend, unless there's some other one that we missed. Plenty going on in that general area of Florida. So if you're down there, you got some stuff to do. The box office report for this past weekend. This is January 14th through the 16th. So it's basically a holiday weekend with Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday. Let's see, number 10, we've got down from number 6, The Matrix Resurrections. That thing just has not done, hasn't as done as well as you would think it would have. I mean, it's only grossed $35.8 million. To put it in perspective, Scream has almost got that pretty much already domestically, if you count the entire 4-day weekend. So it just hasn't done very well. Number 9, Licorice Pizza. Number 8, down a spot, West Side Story, the latest from Spielberg. Number 7, down from 5, American Underdog. That's the biggest horror release so far here in 2022, the Kurt Warner story. Number 6, Belle. I don't know what that is. Something tells me it's not our wheelhouse, but 6. Number 5, down a spot, The King's Man. Number 4, down a spot, The 355. Number 3, down one spot, Sing 2, the latest animated from Universal. And number 2, it's been dethroned. Down from number 1, Spider-Man No Way Home. So it was number 1 for 4 straight weeks, basically a solid month. And finally got dethroned by number 1, Scream. Now it made a little over 30 million, like if you're doing the 3-day weekend. But if you're counting Martin Luther King Day, it made 33.8 million over the 4-day holiday weekend. So I'm sure, Disney and Sony or whatever, they're not crying too much about Spider-Man still raking it in, but it did get knocked down from number 1. New releases this week. There's only 2. You see them there on the screen. We've got tomorrow on Shudder, The Last Thing Mary Saw, and then Friday on Video on Demand, War Hunt. That one's got Mickey Rourke in it. I see there's.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip it just for that reason. Yeah, like that.
Who knows? Sometimes, man, like they can surprise you. With those random kind of like. And I don't know. I haven't seen a trailer. I don't know much about it. But how much you want to bet Mickey Rourke doesn't play a big part in that movie? Like,
yeah, he's probably in it for 10 minutes.
Yeah, and most of the movie is carried by someone else. And hey, look, it's Mickey Rourke, and he gets top billing. And we've got 3 horror anniversary dates. Let's see what the first one here is. Gordon Hessler. This is the anniversary of his passing, that would be today in 2014. Yeah. So it was that 8 years ago. Yeah, 8 years ago today, Gordon Hessler passed away. Now, we just talked about him last month on his birthday, the anniversary of his birthday, December 12th. But of course, you see there on the screen, he will be best well known from our fans and our listeners as the director of Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. So, I mean, he had a much more successful career than that, right? More memorable things that he did other than that. But for our purposes, he's only remembered for Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
Star Child.
Yeah. What was that? The dude kept doing. One of the dudes kept doing. He never said anything. He just go ack.
Oh, Ace Frehley.
For some reason, he never said anything. He just go ack. Oh God! Just wait, Donnie.
Yeah, we'll see.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
What's the next one we got there? David Lynch. It's his birthday tomorrow. He was born in 1946. So one of the lovable oddballs of Hollywood there, old David Lynch. Hell of a creative mind in a lot of the things like Twin Peaks and a lot of films he's made and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say weird, just odd stuff. But good stuff nonetheless. He's done a lot of great work. And the last one that we've got is on the 25th. So that is next Tuesday, I believe. Next Tuesday is the birthday of Tobe Hooper, the late great horror director. best known for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2, right? He did 2, right, Smoke?
Yeah, he directed 2 as well.
And of course,
Eaten Alive. That's a good alligator horror movie.
And Poltergeist. Now that one's always been like somewhat divisive as to whether he or Spielberg directed that, right? Like he was a director, but supposedly the legend goes Spielberg like had a hand in directing that as well because he was producing it or something.
Yeah, he was a producer on it. But yeah, there was that story going around, even though I think Spielberg himself has said that wasn't the case. But, who knows for sure? Too much of a hand he had.
Like, it's one of those urban legend myth type things that just, for whatever reason, lives on. But, unfortunately, he passed back in 2017. It's hard to believe it's been that long, man. Yeah, I mean, that's been, 5 years ago now that he passed away.
Yeah, close to it.
Yeah, it's crazy. But, so that's pretty much it. We just want to remind you about the polls. You see there on the screen, you've got the Patreon poll. You go and join us over on Patreon. You can vote for what Valentine's movie that we're going to watch for episode 95. You see your 3 choices there, Valentine, Pontypool, and My Bloody Valentine. And then the other poll that literally just went up today, the Cult Corner poll, that will be for the next episode 96 that we watch next month. Our first in the Cult Corner series, where we're going to be talking about cult movies, but not horror related. Jenna, that might be a little confusing if you're just looking at, this is a horror podcast that's doing non-horror related movies, but we're just trying to mix it up with some other cool stuff and get some variety. And they always say variety is the spice of life. So we're trying to mix it up. But that poll ends at the end of the month. You can vote over on Patreon. That's free to go over there and vote. You don't have to become a patron to do that. You can go vote over there, patreon.com/AA-Spookshow. You can go to our Twitter account at AA Spook Show, Instagram, Facebook, the Slasher app. You should be able to find us. You've got the Linktree link down in the show notes to all those things. But you see the 4 choices there: The Warriors, Bloodsport, Assault on Precinct 13, and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So whichever one all you guys choose, that will be what we watch for episode 96 next month. So
yeah, it should be a good one to kick it off, man.
Oh yeah, that's 4 pretty big, cult movies there. I mean, it's going to be a hard choice, but for the fans to make. But hopefully, I can't even say I'm leaning one way or another. Now, peek behind the curtain, we all picked one apiece here. I'm not going to tell you who picked which one, but
yeah, we should have some sort of bonus. I mean, not for this one. At some point in the future, we should have some kind of bonus thing. Like if whoever out there can pick wins, all 4 of us who picked what movie or whatever, we should have something. Have to do something. I have to think about that.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
But yeah, so each one of us pick one of those movies, and when the poll ends at the end of the month, we'll tabulate, and then on around the beginning of February, we'll let you know which one won, and then we'll put up the next month's poll and everything. So come join us on this new journey of introducing some new series, the Cult Corner, on the main podcast feed, and then we're going to be introducing the Crapster Piece Theater over on Patreon. So a lot of good times in store. I don't want any of you guys to miss the Crapster Piece stuff too. So please join us over on Patreon for that. And you can see all the information there, where you can find us all. So I will add right before we shut it down for today here, we got one comment from Cash 5000. He says Weekend at Bernie's 2. So I'm assuming that
Crapster Piece. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I guess it could go either way, right? You could maybe consider that a cult movie, but I don't know. That second one is not that the first one is solid gold, but that second one's even worse. It's like Caddyshack 2 or something, like nope.
Oh, brutal.
Bad. But yeah, anyways, go vote. Go vote on the 2 polls we got there. Help us out. And of course, join us over on patreon.com/AA-Spookshow. And Cash 5000 just added, nah, it's crap. That's pretty much what he meant. Added on Crapster Piece Theater. So that's it for this week's Deadline Horror News. Come check us out next Monday. We've got episode 92 coming out, and that's our interview with Paul Talbot, film historian and author, talking about the Charles Bronson books he wrote, Canon Films. Don't miss that. And also, I'll add that we're going to be putting up the whole unedited video version of that interview on our Patreon as well next week when that episode comes out. So join us there. So I guess for Will, who couldn't be with us, for Donnie, Professor Smoke, I'm Josh. We're from the All-American Spookshow Horror Podcast, and we'll talk to you next week.
See you guys.
Later.